for their Saturday evening championship, and it is the multi-class. The multi-class in which we have the Group 1 cars and the Group 3 cars on the track at the same time in teams. So yeah, it has been proven to be some pretty exciting racing. This week for round 3, we've come to Japan, to the Tokyo Expressway and the various tracks on the expressway, and we are actually on the south counter-clockwise circuit for this race. It's 4 miles long, 15 turns. It's a very narrow road circuit, so it should be we should be in for some fun and games as we go along. Now, very quickly before we actually get this race started, I'll just have a quick rundown of the league table as it stands after 2 rounds. So for the Group 1 class, we've got Toten out in the lead with 135 points. Just behind him is Grasshopper on 115 points. The Big Mac in 3rd on 80 points. Nath is in 4th on 70 points, and Cherry Bomb is just behind him on, well, it says 5 on here, but I think it's 50 something. And then in the Group 3 class, or the GR3 class, we've got Souness out in front on 135 points. We've got Crashing Chris in 2nd on 110. Peter, or I'll call him Peter, sorry about that, Peter, he's on 90 points in 3rd position. Campo is in 4th on 90 points also, and Molepiece is in 5th on 75. Now, we do only have 12 drivers on track. Well, I say only, 12 is a good turnout actually, so we've got 12 drivers on track. The unfortunate part is we've only got 4 in the GR3 cars, so 8 drivers in the Group 1 and only 4 in the GR3, which is a bit unfortunate, but I'm sure those 4 will battle it out. But what it does mean is there are plenty of points up for grabs for the guys actually on track, and I'm sure they will all be doing their best to score maximum points today. So we're going to have a rundown of the grid, starting at the back as we normally do. So we've got Kebabman's in the Viper. We've got Molepiece in the Alpha in 11th. We've got Peter in 10th in the BMW. 9th is Souness in the GTR. And then we're on to the Group 1 cars, the GR1 cars, which is actually the Toyota Hybrid, the 4-wheel drive car, and they're all the same. So Jabba in 8th on the grid. Nath is 7th, Smoky Tom is 6th, the Big Mac is 5th, 4th is Derg, Cherry Bomb is 3rd, Grasshopper is 2nd, and Toten is once again on pole position. So he's turning out to be really difficult to topple in this multi-class section. But hey, let's just see how we get on, and can somebody actually knock him off that spot. Let's see, let's get those lights out and get this race underway. So we've got 5 lights, wait for them to go out and we will be off. And Toten and Grasshopper get a great start, as does Cherry Bomb. Dirk is sitting there in 4th, so no real change yet. The Big Mac and Dirk going side by side already. Oh, bit of a touch there. Smoky Tom just sitting behind as they go around this tight right-hander. It's a right, then a right. Bit of a sort of a chicane section. Barriers all the way around this track. So if you do have a bit of a moment, you're not going to go too far. As you can see, Toten already stretching a bit of a lead. He's trying to get away from the rest of the pack. Now, if you've joined us before, you will know all about the format for these races. But I will quickly run through. I was just watching as Cherry Bomb makes a move on Dirk. there, and Dirk gets on the inside to try and take it back as they go through the hairpin, and Dirk does take that third position back. So that drops Cherry Bomb back to fourth, the Big Mac fifth, and Smoky Tom in sixth. So just going back now to the Group 3, I'm going to GR3, GT3s, Group 3s, whatever you want to call them. I call them Group 3s. They are still quite tight, as Peter is leading this group of 4 cars. In the BMW, he has got by Souness, so Peter is in 9th, or first in this group. Souness just sitting behind. Then we've got Malpiece, and just bringing up the rear at the minute is the Kebab Man's. He's in Postman Pat's other car. But Postman Pat wishes he had that car. So back up to our leader Toten, who really is trying to forge ahead. That was what I was saying about the format of these races. They are 1 hour endurance races, so there will be pit stops. You do have to use all 3 compound tyres at some point during the race. Excuse me. Clear my throat there. So yes, as I was saying, you do have to use all 3 compound tyres during the race, and the red tyre rules come in as well, so you can only run a red tyre for 1 lap, I believe. Any more than that and you will pick up a penalty, because some people say a worn out soft tyre is better than a new hard tyre. So they're the rules. You manage your own fuel, obviously. Now I'm not too familiar where the pit lane is on this track, so we will find that out together as we watch. As Toten and Grasshopper now really starting to pull away from the rest of the pack. Cherry Bomb sitting in third, so he has taken that spot away from Dirk, and I apologise, I missed that. So the Big Mac sitting in fourth. Oh no, actually I'll tell a lie, it's the Big Mac in fourth. So Dirk's had a proper moment and has found himself now down in fifth. Jabber in sixth, and Smoky Tom. Now let's just see if we can go back and see what's happened. I don't want to go back too far. Ah, right, okay. So Smoky Tom in fifth. He's got Jabber behind him. He's trying to put a challenge in on Dirk, it looks like. So Smoky Tom challenging Dirk for that fifth position. Heading towards the hairpin. Oh, and Smoky Tom, unfortunately, has just got the power down too early and has had a spin, so that's why Smoky Tom has ended up down in 8th. He is on the hard tyres though, and I know Smoky does like to run the hard tyres first, and then he'll go on to the mediums and then softs. So he finds himself in 8th at the minute, but Smokey's a quick driver, so Nathan will be looking in his mirrors. He'll be fully aware of him coming up. Nathan also on the hard tyres, so these two guys choosing to get rid of them early. Let's have a look. Jabber, he's also on the hards. Dirk has gone for the softs. Oh, we've got a yellow flag. Why have we got a yellow flag? Was it Grasshopper? Did something happen? We've got Toten in front, and then we've got Grasshopper, and then we've got Cherry Bomb. So we had a yellow flag, and I couldn't see what the yellow flag was all about. Let's just follow Cherry Bomb through, just to make sure it was nothing that had happened to him. I'm trying to look at the map in the top right. It looks like Toten and Grasshopper have both got through. No, it was Grasshopper. I do apologise, Cherry Bomb. Let's have a look. So into the hairpin, and I think Grasshopper's probably done exactly the same as what he did. Yeah, exactly the same as Smoky Tom. He's just got on the power a little bit too early, and the back end has put in a massive complaint and just come round on him. So I know Grasshopper will be kicking himself for that mistake, because that has allowed the Big Mac to get right up his gearbox now. And as you can see, the pit stops are happening already. In fact, you know what, I'm going to stay with Grasshopper and Big Mac for a second. Nath's in the pit, Smokey and Jabba have all decided to come in and get rid of those hard tyres. As the Big Mac, let's go on board with I want to go on board with the Big Mac. There we go. I'll get myself sorted out in a minute. So the Big Mac chasing down Grasshopper. It does look like the Grasshopper seems to be pulling away. So that's why we've got damage at the front of the Big Mac's car, and that's why the Grasshopper is allowed to just pull away a little bit. So Big Mac's going to have to wait for this damage to get repaired. They are self-repairing cars, which is really handy around a circuit like this, because contact with the barrier is going to come fast and furious, I'm sure. So that's the Big Mac trying desperately to get back up to the back of Grasshopper. Derg not that far behind. So Smokey out now, Jabba is out on the mediums, Smokey out on the mediums, Nath has gone for the softs. So we'll just go back to the Group 3 cars, and it looks like Peter is pulling a bit of a lead away from Kebabman's. Kebabman's up to 10th now, but he has got Sooners all over him. As Sooners darts to the inside around this tricky section, side by side. Kebabman's not going to let it up that easy, is he? He's trying to cut back. He's all over the back of Sooners. That Viper has got the power to pull away on the straight, so Sooners is going to have to get pretty tight into his slipstream. You can see Molepiece in there as well in the Alpha. So these three having a proper fight. So the Kebabman's is trying to defend from both of them, Molepiece and Sooners, both side by side, desperate to get in the slipstream of that Viper. Kebabman still in 10th as he leads us down towards the hairpin, or the first hairpin, first hairpin? I don't know, a hairpin. Ooh, try and keep it clean through there, no dramas. Molepiece has managed to get by Sooners. Now where did that happen? Let's just drop back and see where that happened. So oh, it was there. It was through the bridge. We were going through the tunnel, sorry. You can see that Molepiece is tucked right into the back of that GTR. He gets in the slipstream, pulls out, gets into the slipstream of the Viper, which helps pull him through, and Molepiece goes through. Also has a bit of a cheeky look up the inside of Kebabman's. But I think that power's just got a little bit too much grunt for the Alpha on the straights, but Molepiece can make up that shortfall in power through the corners. It is going to be a little bit quicker in acceleration. Turned out to be quite a surprising little car, this Alpha. I think it's is it the 4C, 8C? But the Alpha's been quite a surprise this season, and has performed very well. Sooners, however, is right on the back of Molepiece again now in that GTR, and he is going to make a move, is he? On Molepiece, let's go on board with Sooners. Through the left-hander. No wall riding allowed, of course, so the guy's very conscious of that. So Molepiece tucks right in behind that Viper to get the slipstream. That's why Sooners is unable to get any closer to him on the straights. So it's a great little fight going on between these three. I'm just going to go very quickly back up to our race leader, Toten, who is, as usual, all out on his own, having a bit of a lonely race, but I'm sure he won't be complaining about that. Cherry Bomb in second, so he has got past Grasshopper. Grasshopper had that moment, if you remember. Ooh, and he's just had another one there. I'm not sure if that was glitching or he's just managed to catch the barrier, but that won't help his cause, catching that too many times. But Grasshopper is not that far off the back of Cherry Bomb, and it does look like he's catching. We've got Dirk sitting in fourth, the Big Mac in fifth, although he has dropped off a bit, so these Group 1 cars now starting to spread out a bit. Then we've got Jabba and Smoky Tom having a bit of a fight for 6 after their pit stops. Oh, and Smoky! Oh, what's happened this? Come on, we know you're better than this. I think it's the same problem he had with the last hairpin. He's just got on the power a bit too early, and yeah, the back end has just come all the way round. So unfortunate for Smokey, but he will recover. I know he will. Nate down in 8th. He's now been able to get a lot closer to Smoky Tom now. Nate seems to be improving every single week. We see him. Had a very rocky start at the beginning in this GR1 car, but every time we see him on track, he seems to be getting better and better. So we've got Peter. He's leading the Group 3 cars. He's going to be lapped by Toten, but that is to be expected. But I'm sure that's not going to put him off. The Group 1 cars have to find their way around the Group 3 cars. The Group 3 cars can stay on the racing line. They don't have to move out of the way. It is up to the faster car to find a way by. Kebabman's in 10th or 2nd. These guys seem to have calmed down a little bit now. Molepiece in 11th and Sunas in 12th still. You can see Dirk going through. As I say, it is up to the Group 1 guys to pick their way through. At the end of the day, the Group 3 guys are racing. So let's just see if we can find where the battles are. Definitely not with Toten, who is all on his own. Oh, Cherry Bomb and Grasshopper. So Cherry Bomb did, yes. Let's just go back a couple of frames. Oh, Cherry Bomb in second for a while. So as you can see, the guys trying to fight their way through traffic. Grasshopper all over the back of Cherry Bomb. The Group 3 guys holding them up a little bit, but as I say, that's not really their problem, is it? But that has allowed the Grasshopper to get a lot closer to Cherry Bomb. Now if you can get in the slipstream, he can try and make a move on him on one of the straights. Now they've got this race down to the hairpin at the end of the tunnel, as they get by Peter successfully. Cherry Bomb defending that inside line. Grasshopper, it looked like he was going for the cutback. He'll be a little bit cautious around that one. I think that's where he had his spill last time. So these two really going at it now, aren't they? So let's go on board with Grasshopper. I mean, it's great to watch these guys in these GR1 cars. You've got to have reflexes like a cat with some of these turns. I unfortunately got the reflexes of a sloth, so that's probably why I'm no good in these cars. Now then, Grasshopper has made the move. He's pulled out the slipstream. He's got his nose in front. It's on this long straight. Although Cherry Bomb is holding that inside line. No, Grasshopper has just got his nose in front. And that was a great move. As we go through these series of bends, approach the right-hander. Oh, a bit of a kiss with barrier, and as I said earlier, that's going to happen quite a lot during this race. So Grasshopper made the move on Cherry Bomb, and now he's looking to see if he can pull away from him and try and make some inroads to catching up with the back of Toten. So looking at the tyres, Toten is he'll be making a pit stop soon, as will Grasshopper, Cherry Bomb also. So these top three guys are all going to have to make a pit stop within the next lap or so. And there you can see Cherry Bomb has already come in. He's trying the undercut. So this could be a tactic that'll work for him. Taking on fuel as the Big Mac in fifth. Just a bit cautious around this hairpin. We've got a couple of the GR3 cars in front of him. As we see, somebody dived into the pits there. I didn't see who it was. We shall find out in a minute. As Cherry Bomb comes back out again on racing mediums and in fifth position. So Grasshopper in second, Toten in first, yeah, but they're both going to have to make a pit stop soon. Same with Dirk. So all the guys running out of fuel. Big Mac has managed to look after his fuel a little bit better. He's on the racing hard, so I think what he's probably going to do is do a lap on the racing hards, and then he's going to come in, change them tyres again, and take some fuel on board next time around. So back up to Toten. Now I think the pit lane is around here, I think. Yes, it does look like Toten has pulled to the left. And yeah, it looks like you're going to an underground NCP, doesn't it? Car park. So Toten into the pits, our race leader. Grasshopper has come in behind him. Dirk has come in as well. So the top three have all come into the pits for a change of tyres and take on fuel. So the Big Mac now in fourth. Can he actually take up the lead as he goes past the pit lane, or the pit lane entrance should I say. So Toten, it looks like Toten's on his way out. Toten's out. Toten rejoins back out in front. The Big Mac is in second and Dirk in third. So Dirk didn't take on a full tank of fuel, so he's done that to get himself some track position over Grasshopper, although Grasshopper, he's done exactly the same as he. No, Grasshopper has got a full tank of fuel, although he's had a kiss with Mario, it looks like, because he's got front damage. So a tactical move from Dirk there. He's only took on 3/4 of fuel to get himself out in third. Grasshopper's got to wait for that damage to repair. He's got Cherry Bomb closing down on him in fifth. So now looking at the Group 3 guys, as Jabba having a bit of a side swipe with a barrier there, is in sixth, or he's leading the GR3 guys with Smoky Tom right up the back of him. As Smoky pulls out to go round the outside. Has he got it done? He has. What a great move from Smoky Tom. Managed to get it done before the turn. So Smoky now up into sixth, with Jabba dropping to seventh. We've got Nath down in eighth. Soonest in ninth, Peter 10th, Molepiece 11th, and Kebab Man's down in 12th, although they have made a stop. As you can see, Molepiece now on the hards. So back up to our race leader, Toten. He's starting to open that gap again. Out in front. Just doesn't look troubled, does he? Dirk still in second, although he is coming under a bit of pressure now from Grasshopper. Grasshopper has chosen to go with the racing softs for his second stint, so he will have the advantage tyre wise, at least for the first 2 or 3 laps anyway. So he needs to hurry up and get by Dirk before the medium tyres start to warm up on Dirk's car. Plus also Dirk's tyres will last a little bit longer. I'm not sure about his fuel. And so different strategies unfolding in this race already. Frog in my throat, so I just need a quick swig of juice. So Smoky Tom down in 5th, Jabba 6th. The Big Mac, it looks like he's made a stop. He has took on fuel. So the Big Mac is good to go for quite a few laps now. Nath, he'll be coming in soon. Just under a third, is it? Yeah, just under a third of a tank of fuel, and his tyres, especially the front left, rear left, starting to look worn. Peter on the hard tyres in 9th. His tyres look fine. It's his fuel that he'll be stopping for, unless he just wants to get rid of those hard tyres. But having a good race so far is Peter in that BMW, and he really is on his own. Nearest to him is Kebab Man's, and he's got Molepiece for company. Molepiece just trying to stick in the slipstream of that Viper, get pulled along, help with the fuel saving as well. And then we've got Souness down in 12th. So we're not sure what's happening with Souness this round. Perhaps this is not a track he likes. He is actually leading the Group 3 table. His nearest rival, Crashing Chris, not with us today. So a good opportunity for Peter, who is actually leading this bunch of 4. It's a good opportunity for Peter to make some points up on Crashing Chris, maybe even get past him. Likewise with Molepiece, with the absence of Campo. And so there could be quite a change in the league table, especially for the Group 3 guys. Something that doesn't like it's going to change anytime soon is the leader of the Group 1 cars, and that's Toten, as he comes to lap the GR3 cars again. But as I say, that is to be expected with the speed difference. What we have seen is most of the guys have been pretty respectful with trying to get out of the way of these faster guys. Like I said earlier, they don't have to, but they do try and stay out the way for them. As Grasshopper goes by, Cherry Bomb in 3rd. They're starting to spread out now. Dirk in 4th. This is where you start having your lonely races. It's hard to keep your concentration when you're out there on your own as well. So it's just over 20 minutes gone, and everybody's settling down. The Big Mac in 5th, Smoky Tom in 6th. He has got Jabba just behind him, but not that far. So Smokey now onto the racing softs, so and a full tank of fuel, so he's good to go for a bit. So I'm sure Smokey is going to plant his foot down on that gas pedal and try and catch up as much as he can. Jabba's done exactly the same. He's on the softs, full tank of fuel, so he can now go for it. Nath down in 8th, still battling away. So Kebabman's has now taken up the lead of the GR3 cars. It says he's in 9th, but he's currently leading the 4 cars, the 4 Group 3 cars. Then we've got Molepiece just behind him in the Alpha. Then we've got Soonest, and then we've got Peter. So everybody spreading out now. So I'm going to see if we can find a battle that's going on. We do have a cluster of cars here, but I think it's more a case of the Group 1 cars overtaking the Group 3 cars. So if you look at the map at the top right, you can see the little red marker. That's the Big Mac, and it does look like he's got cars around him, but as I say, I think they are the Group 3 guys who are currently being lapped. So what we'll do is I'm just going to skip forward a couple of laps. So we'll go back up to our current leader, Toten. Now Grasshopper a lot closer to him this time. Remember, Grasshopper is on the racing softs, so he does have tyre advantage. Both are about the same. They've got about a third a tank of fuel. So it does come down to tyres, although Toten should have the better tyres, or should I say less worn tyres, being on the mediums, Grasshopper on the softs, but Cherry Bomb also on the mediums. He really is out on his own, isn't he? There is nobody near him for a long way. Same with the Big Mac. Another very, very lonely race. Dirk down in 5th. Of course, the guys can see how many seconds they are away from whoever's in front and whoever's behind. We can't, unfortunately. I'm just wondering what that yellow flag was all about then. Yeah, we can't see how many seconds there are between them. The guys can see. So that does give them an indication of whether they're catching or not. As soon as comes into the pits. So I'm just going through and seeing if I can find what's happening. So it really is at the minute, the fight for first and second is Toten and Grasshopper. Toten led the race from the start, as he usually does. But it does look like Grasshopper's gaining. I'm not sure if Grasshopper's used the medium tyres yet. I can't remember. I get myself all confused as far as who's had what tyres. I ought to write it down, but I don't, obviously. So as you can see with Grasshopper's fuel, he is near on empty, so he is going to have to come in. Exactly the same for Toten. So these two guys, Cherry Bomb's already in the pits, so he's trying the undercut this time. So just fuel then for Cherry Bomb. He's going to leave the tyres on, it looks, unless the He's had a fallout with the mechanics and they've just refused to put the tyres on. So let's just stay with Toten and Grasshopper. Oh, as Toten tries to get by the Kebabmans. Now that has allowed the Grasshopper to get even closer. I'm sure the guys, they are going to have to pit this lap. So as they come to the end of this very long straight through, they go through the tunnel and then they'll stay to the left and pull into the car park. What looks like a car park anyway. It probably is a car park actually. They've just turned it into a pit lane for racing purposes, but as you see, Toten will stay to the left, Grasshopper will follow him, and yeah, through the ticket booth. It is a car park, you can see the parking spaces. So both Grasshopper and Toten in the pits. Now it is just a case of taking on fuel for both. Who's going to get out in front? You can see the fuel going up. I think Toten is just mildly ahead. Now then, are they going to completely fill up? It does look like they are, and they are away. And Toten has got out in front of Grasshopper. Toten on the softs, Grasshopper also on softs, so these two are now going to have a fight. Both the same amount of fuel, both on the soft tyres, so this could develop into quite a decent battle between these two. Got to get a bit of heat in those tyres though. Trying to stay off the barriers, both done a fantastic job there. Now we are approaching Molepiece. It's can they get by him successfully and cleanly? Oh, now then, Molepiece tries to get out of Toten's way. Toten darts to the inside and gets by. Oh, did he? No, Toten went very wide. So Grasshopper's just got through. Let's just go back and have a look what happened to Toten. He just went very deep into the corner. I think it's as he's tried to get by Molepiece. Let's go on board with Toten. So he's not quite sure which way Molepiece was going to go then, and he's very late on the brakes, which sends him wide, and that allows Grasshopper through, and you can just see Grasshopper coming through there. Now Toten will be annoyed at that. Wasn't Molepiece's fault, like I said many occasions now. It is up to the Group 1 guys to find a way past the slower cars. It is not up for the slower cars to just move out of their way, although I think Molepiece was trying to do exactly that. So Grasshopper now becomes our leader, and he has got some defending to do. We know how quick Toten is, and Grasshopper will be fully aware of that. Let's see if we can get a different angle. You can see there, we're on board with Grasshopper. You can see Toten is desperate to catch up with him. I think he's had a bit of a case with Barriera as well there, in his desperation to get up to the back of Grasshopper. Now as they approach more back markers, can Grasshopper get by? He's definitely going to get held up, which is going to allow Toten to get onto the back of him. Nathan 8th, he will have to get out of the way. And you can see Toten there has made the challenge, and Toten has got his nose in front. Into the turn now then. Oh, Nath, and Toten's done exactly the same thing again, but this time Grasshopper followed him. Well, this is the joy of having the multi-class. Kebabman's caught up in all of this as Nath tries to get out of Grasshopper's way. In the meantime, Toten is gone and he's away on his toes. And I'm sure there's a few choice words coming out the visor of Grasshopper's helmet there. So in amongst the confusion of trying to get past the back markers, Toten has managed to regain the lead. And he's now looking to open up a bit of a gap again, although they both went very deep into that turn again. So Dirk, let me just have a look. So Dirk down in third. He's well out of this little fight that's going on between 1 and 2, but looking very comfortable in third. He's under no pressure at all. Cherry Bomb in fourth. Another one not coming under any pressure. Smoky Tom in fifth. Just coming up to the hairpin. This is where he had a moment very early on in the race. Obviously learnt his lesson. He's got a bit of a feel for that corner now. So Jabber in 6, just coming up to the hairpin. Oh, and he's had a kiss for Barrier as well. Bit of damage now at the front. So Jabber, he's going to have to make a pit stop very soon. Oh, as the Big Mac tries to drift round the corner. Come on, Big Mac. Down the hill towards the hairpin and doing what everybody else seems to be doing. Grasshopper's done it, Smoky Tom has done it. He got on the power way too early. And the back end has just come round on you. So that's the Big Mac down in 7th. 8th is Nath. So in the Group 3 cars, Peter looking very, very comfortable in 9th or 1st, whichever way you want to look at it. He has got Nath coming up behind him. Peter has got the fuel light flashing, so is he coming in? He is. He's pulled into the car park, so Peter into the pits. Kebabman coming down the hill now. He's going to have to pit as well. Currently in 2nd. Yeah, he's pulled into the car park, so that's 1 and 2 for the Group 3 cars. Now where's Molepiece? He's heading down towards the pits. He's not going to have to pit, so can he take over the lead of the Group 3 cars? If he stays out, he's going to stay out surely. Yes, he is. So he goes through. Kebabman's is still in the pits. I think Peter's come out. He has. Peter's managed to get out before Molepiece. Peter just allowing Smoky Tom to go by. So in the Group 3 race, we've got Peter out in front. We've got Molepiece just behind him in 2nd. Then we've got the Kebabmans. In fact, we thought we'd lost somebody. No, we haven't. Kebabman's down in 12, so sorry, I'm getting it wrong. Soonest is out in front. I'll get there in a minute. Soonest is actually leading this pack. We've got Peter in 2nd, Molepiece 3rd, and Kebabman's 4th. That's the order of the Group 3 race at the minute. So everybody really starting to spread out now. So we will try and find you a battle to watch as we go up through the order. And I think we're going to have to go all the way up to the top. So it is still Toten out in front, Grasshopper 2nd. If you remember, Toten managed to steal the lead from Grasshopper in amongst the confusion of getting by the back markers. And it looks like Toten is approaching. back markers again, and so Grasshopper will be open for pretty much the same thing to happen to Toten as happened to him, but the back markers get in the way and give him a chance to get even closer. I can't quite see who it is in front. It might be the Kebab Man's. No, it's Jabba. All I saw was a red car, so it is. It's the post van of Jabba. So Toten will be lapping him. So Jabba should get out of the way and allow Toten through, which he has. So Toten goes through. Grasshopper's got to do the same, although this is not the best place to try and be overtaken at this hairpin. And that may allow Toten to open up a little bit more of a lead as the Grasshopper does eventually get by Jabba. So these two out on their own again. Doesn't look like we've got any traffic ahead of them, not for a while anyway. So foot planted firmly on the noisy pedal for Toten to try and get away and open up a little bit of a lead back to Grasshopper. And Cherry Bomb in third. We can just see Dirk is making another pit stop. It all looks very peaceful in there, doesn't it? I'm sure it's not. So Dirk rejoins in fourth. Smoky Tom in fifth. He's just coming up to try and get by Molepiece. Oh, now then, there was a bit of a touch there. I think there was a bit of a confusion again with Molepiece. Now this is not Molepiece's fault. He is allowed to stick to the racing line. It's up to Smoky Tom to get by him, and does so as Molepiece comes into the pits anyway. So Molepiece currently down in 12th anyway. He's coming to the pits, he's taking on fuel, fresh set of tyres, he's on the mediums. They're about 40, just coming up to 42 minutes, so this may well be his last stop actually. Fresh set of tyres, full tank of fuel. So this could be enough to see him to the end of the race. Somebody who probably won't get to the end of the race is Toten. He's going to have to make a stop to change them tyres and take on fuel. Exactly the same for Grasshopper. So these two almost light for light with the strategy. So whether Grasshopper is waiting for Toten to pull into the pits to see what tyres he puts on and then does exactly the same, who knows. Cherry Bomb in third, Dirk in fourth. Dirk with a fresh set of softs and a full tank of fuel, so he's going to try and get as far as he can in this race. Smoky Tom down in fifth, another one with a fresh set of tyres and a full tank, so he's got a good few laps in him yet. Had a great battle with Smoky Tom myself last night in two races in the Sunday challenge. So if you do want to check out some of the other videos we've got, some of the other replays we've got on the channel, please do. We cover the Sunday leagues and the Wednesdays. Remember, if you're watching these videos, then please hit the like button if you're enjoying them, and if you haven't already, if you could subscribe, I would really appreciate that. So what we're going to do is go back up to our race leader, which is Toten, as it looks like Peter having a bit of a moment there. Let's just go back and see what happened. I think he was... I'm not sure, I don't know, was he trying to get out of... Toten's way? I'm not sure. You can see he's got the blue the blue flag to indicate that faster drivers are coming up behind him. Oh, he's just had a bit of a moment now, hasn't he, with barrier, and decides to stay there to let the guys through. But he is on his own, so he can afford a little bump every now and then, can Peter? He's having a good race. Kebabman's in 10th or 2nd. Then we've got Souness, and then Malpiece after his pit stop down in 12th. So the blue flag, I think, is going to be out almost permanently now, because all the GR1 cars are all so spread out. As Cherry Bomb now tries to get past Malpiece, and does so successfully. Nath is going to do the same as well. Best way to do it, pick a nice straight bit. Back up to our race leader Toten. He still can't shake the Grasshopper off, can he? In fact, Grasshopper has got closer now. He really is putting the pressure on Toten. Let's go on board with Toten. As we fly around these streets of Tokyo. Everybody in these office buildings and flats have got a fantastic view of this race and this track. Now then, as we head down towards this section that's caught Toten out a couple of times, he's been very late on the brakes, approaching these sort of double right-handers. Oh, he's got it perfect that time, hasn't he? Not a problem to him that time round, but unfortunately for him, same with the Grasshopper as well. So both of these guys really on it. And again, we are looking at probably making a pit stop, maybe even this time around, for both of them. I think the Grasshopper definitely has got to come in. I would say Toten has as well, so they'll stick to the left, follow the arrows through into the car park for new tyres and fuel to see them to the end of the race. So let's just see who gets out in front. It does look so calm and peaceful in there, doesn't it? That's the sort of job I want. Just stand around, hold a drill, kick a tyre. What a fantastic job. Right, who's going to brake first? And it looks like Grasshopper's out. So Grasshopper has calculated his fuel and thinks that just over half is going to be enough. Toten has actually took on a full tank of fuel. Wow, this is going to be interesting, both on the hards as well, so maybe Grasshopper is going to make another stop, I don't know. This is going to be interesting. But Grasshopper is out and he has got a good 2 or 3 seconds lead. I wish we could see the kind of lead they've got. The guys can see it, like I said earlier, but we can't. So this is going to be interesting to see how this unfolds. Toten with a full tank of fuel, more than enough, I think, to get to the end of the race. The Grasshopper with half a tank. Both on hard tyres, so like I said, whether Grasshopper is going to stop again, it remains to be seen. Derg in third. Currently on the soft tyres, don't look too bad at the minute. Half a tank of fuel as well. Cherry Bomb in fourth. He's on a brand new set of racing hards. I think he's going to have to come in for fuel though. Little Cherry Bomb in fourth. Smoky Tom in fifth. He's yeah, he's quite a way off the back of Cherry Bomb. The Big Mac is making a pit stop. This could be his final stop for the Big Mac. Jabba down in 7th. Now then, he may well be able to make it to the end of the race. He's got just over half a tank of fuel, and it looks like a new set of softs. So Jabba could gain a few spots here if he can get his foot down. So the Big Mac back out on mediums in 7th. Nathan 8th, just getting past Small Piece. Then we've got Peter in 9th. He's coming in for his final stop. Kebabman's is also in. So it is a mad dash for the pits now for this last stop. So back up to our current race leader. You can see, if you're looking at the top right of the map, it is quite close between Grasshopper and Toten, although Grasshopper has, after that short pit stop, he got out in front of Toten, and it does look like he's got, well, a good, I would say 4 or 5 seconds ahead of Toten. But I think it may well be a fuel issue for a Grasshopper. It remains to be seen. Has he got his calculations right, and he can make it to the end of the race on what fuel he's got? Or has Toten got it right when he took on a full tank? Probably put too much in, which is what's cost him. So Derg in 3rd. Derg in 3rd. I'm a poet. Didn't know it. Cherry Bomb in 4th. Smoky Tom. Smoky with a 3-second penalty. That'll be a pit lane, crossing the pit lane line. And I think he's the first person to get a penalty in this race. So it's either the penalties are not on for kissing barrier, or everybody's just been super clean. But Smokey's got a 3-second penalty, and as I say, that will definitely be for pit lane. As he's having a battle with Nate, Nate does need to move out of his way, because Smokey is the faster driver here. You can see Nathan 8, there you go. Nate just tries to move over to the left. No, he's still not out of the way, unless Smoky Tom's just going to sit behind him and get a tow, try and save a bit of fuel. He's not really racing anybody, Smoky Tom, at the minute. He's 4 places in front, 3-4 places in front of Nath, as you can see. So maybe Smoky Tom's just trying a new tactic, and he's just going to sit behind Nath and get a tow and save on a bit of fuel. And there you can see Grasshopper is in the pits now. Toten goes through. So it was the right decision from Toten to take on more fuel, and Grasshopper's in there. Oh, it's so frustrating as you see the fuel going in. Now he's come out on mediums. Is it going to be enough? There is about 7 minutes of this race left. Derg's gone through to 2nd. So has Grasshopper got it wrong with his tactics. I can't quite see where he is. So Toten has gone through and is away and running. I think he's probably going to stay on those hard tyres now and see this race out. He's got a good few seconds lead, so there's no need for him to stop. Derg on the soft tyres. His fuel is looking low, as is his tyres, but knowing Derg, he's going to hang on to those as long as he can. Then we've got Grasshopper down in third. Now he has got more fuel and a brand new set of medium tyres. He's just coming up to Jabba, a back marker. You can just see Big Mac just behind his seventh. So Jabba and Big Mac are actually racing each other. Grasshopper needs to try and get past Jabba as quick as he can. Jabba just moves out of the way, I think, to let Grasshopper through. And then he's back on it as the Big Mac makes a move on Jabba as well, and he gets through. So great move from the Big Mac to take 6. Jabba down in 7th, Nate in 8th. So it is Jabba and the Big Mac fighting it out for 6. Although it does look like the Big Mac is pulling away. We have about just approaching 5 minutes of this race left. Down to the Group 3 cars. It's Souness in 9th position. So he has taken that lead away from Peter. So that may have been when Peter had his pit stop. Souness will definitely make it to the end of the race on these tyres and fuel. So he will resume his position at the top of the league. Molepiece now in 10th or 2nd. Now with the absence of Campo, as I mentioned earlier, Molepiece could jump up now up into 4th position. He may even go to 3rd. It depends on Peter's position, who is currently sitting behind Molepiece. So it would definitely be all change on the leaderboard, but who's going where is the big question. Peter's got it just 4.5 minutes if he wants to take that position away from Molepiece and secure his 3rd spot, maybe even 2nd. Crashing Chris not made it this week. And Molepiece has gone into the pits, so he will definitely drop down and stay at 12th. Kebabman's in 11th. He's got enough fuel. Although he is quite a way off. No, Molepiece is definitely going to be at the back. So Souness in 9th, all on his own. Peter as well, he's gone into 2nd. So that's the Group 1, the Group 3 guys. So back up to our leader Toten. That is quite a considerable gap. Back to Grasshopper. Grasshopper has made it past Derg. Let me just see if we can see where that was. Oh, so Derg came into the pit. So yeah, Derg about out of fuel. Yeah, so Derg in 2nd. So Grasshopper then moves up into 3rd. Sorry, 2nd. I'll get her in a minute. So Grasshopper into 3rd. Derg, is he going to get out of the pits before? Yes, he will. So Derg is going to rejoin in 3rd as Cherry Bomb enters into the straight. Well, a straight with a couple of kinks in it, down towards the pit lane. So Cherry Bomb 4th. Smoky Tom is in 5th. The Big Mac 6th, and Jabba 7th. So let's just go back up to the race leader at the minute. So Toten with 3 minutes left. So probably might get one more lap out of this. 33 at the minute. Grasshopper with the current fastest lap as well, a 1:40.6. Toten currently lapping around about the 44s, 43, 44s. So you can see how much difference the hard tyres make. Grasshopper lapping around the 41, 42 on the mediums, but is it going to be enough to catch Toten up? He only has 2.5 minutes to do it. So Derg in third. He looks like this is going to be his finishing position. He's going to have to make them tyres last, but we've only got what, another 1.5 laps to go. Cherry Bomb's going to be fourth. Smokey will be fifth. The Big Mac 6th, Jabba 7th, Nath 8th, and then for the Group 3 guys, Soonest out in front and looking comfortable, with Peter just behind, Kebab Man's, and then Mole Piece. So Toten looking good, the tactics paid off for him. It's always a bit unnerving when you're sitting in the pits taking on more fuel than your nearest rival and he goes off and you're thinking, am I doing the right thing here? Well, it obviously proved it was for Toten. He took on more fuel than Grasshopper did. Grasshopper got out in front, opened up quite a good lead, good 5-6 second lead. But then unfortunately Grasshopper's had to make another stop to take on more fuel, and Toten was able to carry on through. He stayed on the hard tyres as well, which was the right decision. So Grasshopper looks like he's going to have to settle for second. I'm sure he won't be complaining about that. Derg is going to be third. So as we come to the last 30 seconds, I can't actually remember where the start finish line is. Oh, there we go. I think it's there. So we have now got to start looking at who's going to be finishing. So apologies for flicking, but it does look like Toten might finish. Or is he going to get another lap in? I think Toten's going to get another lap in. Same with Grasshopper crosses the line, so those two will definitely get another lap in. So will it be Derg who's going to finish this race first? This is the awkward bit as people start to finish. It may be Jabba, yeah, the Big Mac. So we'll go down the order then. The Big Mac finishes 6th, Jabba's 7th, Derg's 3rd. Then we've got Soonest has finished 9th, or 1st in his group. Peter 2nd, Kebabman's 3rd, with Mole Piece is going to come in 4th. So back up to the race leader now, Toten. Let's have a look, see who this is. So Cherry Bomb's going to come in 4th. Smoky Tom going to be 5th. So who we got now? That's Mole Piece just crossing the line in 12th or 4th. Who's that nearest the line there? So Smoky Tom going to come home in 5th. Good race from Smoky Tom. So now we've got Grasshopper and Toten. Oh, Nath is going to be finishing in 8th. As Nath crosses the line, but here's our winner. Great race from Toten, got his tactics spot on. And Toten takes the win with Grasshopper coming in 2nd. Another fantastic race from Grasshopper. Really give Toten a run for his money, and I think that is everybody across the line. So that was race week 3. Wow, doesn't get much better than that, does it? So join us again for round 4. I'm not too sure where we are next week, but yeah, please join us again next week. Thanks for watching.